All right, quick break. Knock, knock. Who's there? Amazon Music. Amazon Music who? Amazon Music, where Prime members can listen to top comedy podcasts ad-free. No awkward interruptions, just nonstop laughs from your favorite shows. It's free, it's funny, and hey, it's better than my knock-knock jokes. Download the Amazon Music app and let the good times roll. Or go to amazon.com/ad-free comedy. That's amazon.com/ad-free comedy to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace.
Last year, I went through many different life changes. I needed to take a pause and examine how I was feeling in the inside to better show up for the ones who need me to be my best version of myself.
When you're navigating life's changes, Talkspace can help. Talkspace is the #1 rated online therapy, bringing you professional support from licensed therapists and psychiatry providers that you can access anytime, anywhere.
Living a busy life, navigating a long-distance relationship, becoming a first-step father, Talkspace made all of those journeys possible. I could speak with my therapist in the office. I could speak with my therapist in the comfort of my home. I was never alone.
Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
He's Derek.
Don't you think that life should be gay and gay and gay and gay and gay and gay and gay?
She's Romaine.
DerekandRomaine.com. So fucking convenient. It's on demand. It's right there when you need it, when you want it. There it is.
This is Derek and Romaine.
2.0, bitches.
Hey, this is Sparky from Down to the Cruise Next Desk. Listen, I don't know anything about you, man, but you seem like the kind of person who can't wait to sail on Norwegian again. Well, you should get on down here. We've got a super deal for you. It's only today. Today only. It's never going to happen again. Get on down.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, my God.
Well, we're here in the middle of the ocean on the Norwegian Jewel, and I'm doing my impression of the sales call that gets left on your voicemail message. We're in Romaine's stateroom, and the flashing light is blinking on her phone. Like, Romaine, you have a message waiting. And Adam from Scruffytown is like, that's just the Cruise Next Desk calling again. And sometimes they have like a message for you that is like, hey, we know that you're this level of status and we checked your account and you don't have any cruise necks left, but you've bought them before. You should come and see us. But on this ship, for whatever reason, they're like, hey, man, whatever, come on down. Like they don't have any, there's nothing personalized about it at all.
I mean, that's probably a good thing because I don't need them stalking me. Ew.
Well, I got 2 messages like 5 minutes apart, like same people.
Oh, it has been literally every single day because I clear it and then it's back again because I haven't gone back down to the cruise next. So then they have been like, Adam, we haven't seen you yet. Why aren't you here?
This is why I don't even listen. That's why mine is still flashing.
Well, thank God I wasn't leaving you a phone message like, help, I've fallen in the shower. You have to come and rescue me.
You know how I am with phones. I never look.
You're never going to answer the phone.
You will drown at sea in the shower.
It's true. Well, we're not answering your phones today because obviously this show is not live. We recorded this earlier on another cruise, and I suspect if you're listening to this right now, we're on a completely different cruise right now.
We sure are.
Yay!
Yay!
Ding, ding, ding.
Look at us. We never stay home.
No, we don't want to. Anyway, glad to have you with us for another A-plus episode of the show. We are in Romaine's stateroom. It is me, Derek Hartley, Romaine Patterson, of course, Adam from Scruffytown, who is also on board this sailing. So we thought the three of us would tell you a bit about our Valentine's weekend adventures, getting on board the ship, and our stuff so far, I guess.
The overall experience of a short cruise, I'm not going to lie, has been kind of fun. It's just a quick little jaunt. Yep. I think you should do more of them. And I think people might appreciate them.
It's an amuse-bouche of a cruise.
Ooh, of a cruise. That is good. For those of you that are like, oh, would I like to cruise? Maybe not. Like, this is a perfect amount.
It's a good way to trial it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because it gives you all the things that a cruise is, right? It is the onboarding experience, which we'll get to, but it is also the experience of interacting with complete strangers and being out at sea. And if you hate it, you only have to do it for 72 plus-ish hours. I couldn't do 4 times 24 in my head, but it's just a little bit more than 72 hours. But you get to, if you do enjoy it, then you can do a 7-day or a 14-day or a transatlantic. It's too late to book for that, right?
By the time they hear this, possibly. Anyway, that's 96. Okay. Anyway, doing a little quick math here for
Look at you doing the math.
I mean, it wasn't that hard. And didn't you have to help Pie Pants with her math?
No, I don't understand new math, so no.
Was she ever?
I never understood old math either, by the way.
Did she ever end up in any math class that didn't have the word math in it?
Personal finance.
Oh, God. Okay, so remedial. All right. Well, we've had a fine adventure. So we sailed out of Tampa, and I actually have a funny story about Tampa that I don't think I've ever said on the show before.
What?
In 22 years.
You have a story you haven't told before?
About Tampa.
I'm ready. Let's hear a story I've never heard
I think
before.
I haven't mentioned this before, but I almost moved to Tampa.
Was it it's one of the 13 original colonies, so that's fair.
No, it's not. Oh my God. The two of you could not fucking pass a citizenship
First
test.
of all, I did pass it, so fuck you.
No,
barely,
actually,
not in English.
Before we get to your story, can I tell you what I suggested to Romaine this week? So Romy has to do her SATs because she's getting ready to go to college.
I hope she breaks 100.
So I suggested to Romaine and Iris that we all go and do the SATs together because you literally can just show up and take the SATs.
Do you think I should take the SATs again? Yeah. Do you think I would get a better score now than I got when I was 17?
No.
No, you're right. I
there was
probably
zero
peaked
chance of
at
that
17.
happening. But I asked Romaine, and I was like, hey, let's do it. And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, I'll get Iris to do it. I texted Iris that we were going to go and do it. She literally just responded with a series of ha 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 ha's, like 2 lines of that. So
I think we should all take the SATs and then see who does the best.
I'm down.
You know what would be amazing is if I killed all of you with it. Like, what if I surprised you?
You could.
Oh, that would be a surprise.
It would.
When
I took it as a teenager, I was scored fairly highly.
What did you score?
I don't fucking remember. I just remember it was high.
Over 1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. What is a high score? I'll tell you if it was high.
Well, the perfect score is 1,600.
Again.
Okay, mine was, if I remember correctly, and I think I remember, it was like almost 1,400.
That is very good.
Like it was like 1,389 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to see this because mine was 1,260. So
I'm telling you, I scored really well on it.
Because
I remember
some, local agriculture questions that were included in your
No, it was
SAT?
a standard SAT, but
or did you take it when the max was, because it was 1,600 and then they added another 800, so the 2,400? So
I
you
don't
got
know.
a 1,300 in the 2,400 section?
I have no
You know
idea.
that was a thing, right?
No.
Yeah, so...
Did they change the scoring at some point?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's 2 sections, 800 and 800 gives a perfect 1,600.
Yeah.
Then they added a written component for a while, which made a perfect score of 2,400. Then they took that away, and now it's back to 1,600
I don't remember
again.
a written component of it.
That's where the joke lied, is that you got a 1,300 on a 2,400.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 13 on a 16
Yeah,
is very good.
I did really well. I remember because I remember my teachers were all really super happy with how well I did.
And you didn't get like a scholarship offer or anything with that kind of a score?
I went to college on a full ride scholarship, Derek.
Okay. Well, then I guess you did.
Not because of my academics, though. I went on
Because
a
of your
speech scholarship.
You showed the good boob? Like how exactly?
No, I went on a speech scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's
well,
go
my
back to
score
how
was
you-
less than Romaine's, apparently. I only got 1260, 640 verbal, 620 math. So there you go.
I thought Florida was one of the 13
I
original
actually think
colonies,
math is
so-
where I did really well.
Did you just guess?
No, I had I know I suck at math now because
I think everyone at home is like, wait, what?
Okay, I know
their mind
this-
is blown about you having a better SAT score than me.
All right,
so
listen.
okay.
So I had a really good math teacher, like a really good math teacher. But the thing about me is, and Derek knows this because he's seen me do it, I have this ability to absorb information
That's true.
like a sponge, and then I can
Regurgitate it.
regurgitate it really well. So I was really good. So
She knows all the
but
words.
then When I drop that information, it's just gone.
It's gone forever.
Right. So now, because I don't need all that shit, I dropped that information a long, long time ago. But at the time, because it was so fresh in my brain, I just retained it for a couple of years.
Okay, so what you're saying is that when you were in high school, you were actually retaining the information that you were learning, and that's why you had an A+ SAT score. But then the second the high school year was over, you're like, I'm just a dumb slut, and then all of that's gone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that probably is exactly what happened.
I don't know how I feel
or
about this
I might be
theory.
better at math than I pretend to be. I don't know.
I've known you a long time, sweetie. I don't think you're better at math than you pretend to be, but okay.
I mean, I was pretty good in high school. My math teacher actually got mad at me when I stopped taking her math classes because she wanted me to keep taking advanced math classes, and I wouldn't do it because I didn't want
I have a feeling it might be a thing because I have been with you. You're very good at math when it comes to construction.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe it's a matter of you being able to understand math in term of that. Like also, you're
I
also
was
very
really good in
math.
geometry. I kicked ass in geometry.
Okay.
But you have to remember, I was also really good at fractions and things like that because of my musical background. Because music is math. People don't think music is math, but it's all fractions. All those eighth notes, quarter notes, 16th notes, those are all fractions. And people don't think about it like that, but they are. So I was pretty good at math.
All right.
You know what? I bet I still have my SAT score in a folder somewhere. If I find it, I will bring it and show it to you.
I would like to see it.
Yeah. And now I
Because
want to find it. When I'm cleaning my house, I'm going to look for it.
All right. Well, my friend Bernadette, who went to Harvard, got her master's degree at Harvard, she barely cracked 1,000. And she studied much harder than I did in high school. She worked her ass off.
See, I didn't think I was that impressive when I saw my score. I was like, oh, that's a decent score.
When the other students saw my score, they were like, you should talk to a guidance counselor about going to college. So it was like, oh.
I don't know if my guidance counselor ever saw my score.
I know that
I can't imagine
if
you really got 1380 something.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know.
I know it was 13 something.
Okay,
that much I do know.
Okay, well, I don't know that they go into odd numbers. So anyway, but if you got a 1,300 plus score on the SATs, you went to a very small high school. The school would know all the scores of all the students at the school.
Well, not necessarily, because where I took my test wasn't so. It was all the schools, like the high school. So like Sheridan High School, which was a much bigger high school down the road from us. They took everyone went to the community college to take your SATs. That's where everyone took their SATs.
Yeah, but you were enrolled at the high school, so the school would have still gotten all the scores. All I'm saying is, like, if you had gotten that score, you would have suddenly received 1,001 brochures for colleges and universities.
I did get 1,001 brochures and shit. I got so many of them in high school, and I just ignored all of them. My parents couldn't afford shit.
I just feel like if you got a score that high in a state like Wyoming, the people would have been knocking on your door. Okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
I can't wait for this.
I'm going to have to find it.
It's going to go to Instagram. When we get back to land and the mainland.
I'm going to find it if I still have. I probably still have it somewhere because it's the kind of paperwork I wouldn't have thrown away.
I know exactly where mine is. I have both my ACTs and SAT scores.
I didn't take the ACT. I only took the ACT.
I did take the ACT.
I did take the ACTs, and I did very well in the ACTs. Because that one was a lot heavier with math, and I'm very good at math. So I do remember being way better at the ACTs than the SATs.
But I'm also really good at like multiple choice. So, because we did that. Okay, so we do a trivia game, and I'm really good at deducing down to like a 50-50 chance. So even if I'm guessing, I'm guessing it at 50-50. So sometimes my guessing is really good too.
So you think you just had a good guessing day?
I think I might have had, I think there was probably a pretty good chance that when I did guess that I had pretty good odds.
Okay. All right.
Also, we got to this from hey, Derek, tell us why you almost moved to Tampa.
Oh, my God. Anyway. So, as all of you remember, I used to work at AOL, and then I left AOL, and I bought a farm in Michigan that was close to my grandmother, Doris, before I moved to New York. And when I bought my farm because I had stock options at AOL, and I wasn't even there very long, and I had like a pile of money, right? And then I just paid cash for my first house. It was not an expensive house, but that happened. But when I was in Los Angeles, before I had decided to move to Michigan and be near Doris, I was thinking of like, oh, I have this money. I could do anything. I could go anywhere. And for whatever reason, and I don't even know why, I must have read an article about how Tampa was like up and coming. And I looked at like realtor.com or something. And I was like, you know what? With this money, I could buy like a 4-apartment building in Tampa, because it was so much cheaper than Los Angeles, like where I was. Because I thought about buying like that kind of a rental property in LA, but it was too expensive. But Dawn Wells from Gilligan's Island and Shelley Winters, they all did this when they were making money in Hollywood. They all bought like a apartment complex, like a 4-apartment complex, so that when their Hollywood career ended, they would always have a place to live and always have income, right?
That's genius.
And so I was like, okay, maybe this is what I should do. I should take my winnings. I'm 28 years old. I should take my winnings, buy an apartment building that...
You should have done that.
And then I'll basically never need to work again.
Right. Why didn't you do that?
I'll just manage these other 3 apartments, and then I'll just be a lady of leisure in Tampa, Florida.
Why
Derek,
didn't you do
the
that?
landlord. I like it. Yeah.
I guess I just decided I didn't know anything about Tampa. I didn't know anyone in Tampa, and that I realized like this is a both good and foolish idea at the same time. But part of it was like, oh, I'll be close to Orlando, so I could go to Walt Disney World a lot, and I don't know what I was thinking. But
you should have done that. That would have been amazing.
I probably should have done it, but maybe what I should have done is done that in Orlando. But anyway, I thought that like the International Drive in Orlando, like that part of Orlando was so tacky. I was like, I don't want to live here. It's so tacky. But I don't know what it was about Tampa that I thought. There really must have been an article in the LA Times about like Tampa's the hot rising place or something. You know how susceptible I am to any kind of
advertisement,
news article or advertising. Yeah, it's really true. So, or maybe there was like a hot football player or something, and I thought maybe I would meet him on the street. I don't know. I was not thinking clearly, obviously. Anyway, that's how I almost lived in Tampa. But did I?
No, you did not. No.
And after walking through Tampa, I'm okay with not having moved there.
Why were you walking through Tampa?
Yeah, Derek, tell everyone why you walked through Tampa.
I did walk all the way through Tampa. So, we have this cruise, and before we go on the cruises, we usually will come to town the night before. And in this case, there was a sail away at Cityside bar in Tampa. By the time you're hearing this, it's closed. Anyway, we really know how to shut a place down. And in this case, they announced they were closing. It was not us.
It was, yeah.
Anyway, so they had this like bar night thing in Tampa, whatever. And then the cruise port. So whenever we're planning these trips and everything, as we're getting close, Romaine and I are both like, oh, we should buy our airline tickets soon. Later. Procrastinator, last second. Ooh,
we are the worst.
Our hotel? Where are we staying? What's happening?
What rooms are left?
We're spending all of our time worrying about everyone else's travel. How is everyone else getting to the boat? Does everyone else have a cabin? Our plans
worst.
are our very last thought is, oh my God, we should pack. Oh, we should book our flight. Like we're not focused on ourselves at all, which given what narcissistic windbags we are is a huge surprise. But
it is.
This is how it is with the travel. Everyone, you come first. So Super Bowl weekend. Like, oh, we got to book our hotel. And so we have a deal because we have a travel agency. So we have a deal where we can get like sweetheart deals on hotels, but we have to book like within a close time frame. And there's a limited number of these cheaper rooms available. And then you can only book the same hotel once in a 12-month period, whatever. You can't stay more than 4 days. It's a whole complicated thing. Anyway, but we get super pricing on hotels
like
to stay this way.
Pricing.
But most of the time, like if we do a cruise, like we go to New Orleans for the Big Easy, we have a hotel block with rooms. We'll almost certainly just stay in our own hotel block. So in those kind of cases, it makes more sense to just stay at the hotel. We know where our group is there. We know that's the hotel. Sometimes we have extra space left over, so we'll just stay there. But sometimes the space sells out. They don't have more space for us, and we just stay nearby. Anyway,
Right.
like last time we did New Orleans, Romaine stayed at the host hotel, and I stayed across the street, and it worked out fine.
Yep.
So anyway, so Super Bowl, right before the Super Bowl, I'm like, oh, I should book the hotel. And I look, and I was like, oh, there's a room at the 4 Points Sheraton near the airport. And Romaine had brought up on the show earlier, oh, it's been a long time since we've been to the Olive Garden. I haven't been to the Olive Garden. And so I looked online. I was like, oh, there's an Olive Garden. It's less than a mile away. The bar is not that far away. There's a Waffle House less than a mile away. I was like, okay, this is the perfect hotel. And it's close to the airport. So, and here's our rate, $71 a night.
I'm sorry, say what?
$71 a night.
$71.
At the
That's American dollars?
yeah, at the 4 Points Sheraton. With tax, it did come to $79.88. Okay, so anyway, so
And no hookers?
No
No
hookers.
hookers.
Like a nice hotel. It was a very nice hotel.
It's got 4 points.
And it had a shuttle from the airport to the hotel. So I didn't even have to get a taxi or an Uber to get there. Oh, girl.
What?
Yes. Honey. Money, honey. Do I know a deal or do I know a deal?
She
Anyway,
found it.
so I texted Romaine
During the Super Bowl.
during this, right, like the pre-show, like before it actually,
Sure.
but like at Super Bowl Sunday. And I'm like, girl, I booked the hotel. This is where I booked. It's super convenient, whatever, blah, blah,
and
blah.
I'm like, okay, I'll book it.
When did you book it?
Well, I went to book it the next day.
So not the day of.
No, because I was getting ready to watch Super Bowl, bitch.
Oh, yeah, because that was so exciting.
Yeah. So
I know how much you love football.
Oh, I
What a
know.
priority that is.
Yeah. So I watched Super Bowl and then I forgot. And then the next morning I'm like, oh yeah, I got to book that fucking hotel room. So I went online to book it and it was gone. I couldn't book it.
So you could not stay at the 4 Points.
But then they had
No.
another secondary hotel that was more expensive, that was nicer. It was like
Yeah.
$130 a night. And it was also relatively close to the bar and the port, but not as close to the Olive Garden or me or whatever. But that was also sold out.
Yeah. So anyway, I ended up staying far away. So far away.
So far.
Yeah.
So
And
we
it
weren't
sucked.
anywhere near each
Nope.
other.
Okay.
Not even close.
So you're staying at your place.
And I'm far away.
Yeah.
Then
But
you go to
Derek-
Olive Garden.
Yep. We went to the Olive Garden the night before. And the next morning, what'd you do, Derek?
So, yeah, well, we'll talk about our fabulous dinner at the Olive Garden because we did finally get to make our Olive Garden dream come true.
Yeah, it was good.
But so there was a delay. There was like fog in the harbor. So our boat was delayed in leaving. So we were supposed to be at the dock at whatever, 11, 12. But then they said, don't
show
come
up until after 2.
But I was checking out of the hotel at 11. So it's like, well, I'll hang out in the lobby for a little while. I'll do my New York Times Sudoku and connections and strands and mini crossword. And then I was sitting there and I thought, well, you know what? I looked online and it's a 2-hour walk to the port. And now it's noon. So I was like, you know what? I could just walk to the port. And
He wants to walk 2 hours
In Tampa heat.
in Tampa, muggy heat.
Sure.
He's like,
Well,
oh
it
yeah,
wasn't
I'll just
muggy,
walk
but it was
2
warm. It
It
hours
was pretty muggy.
with
So I
my
was like-
bag.
But I was like,
Yep.
you know what? I'll just walk until I get tired, and then I'll hop into an Uber,
Fair.
and I'll go and grab some lunch. There's a Yard House nearby, and I'll just grab a little lunch and then go to the cruise port.
Yeah, huh?
So
Because that's normal. I'm just
I
gonna walk for
walked.
2 hours.
6 miles from the host hotel.
6 miles. That's
Listen.
insanity.
He got his mall walkers on. He's got to get his miles.
I did. And I want you to know. So anyway, so a little over an hour into it, I was like, you know what? It's sunny. It's hot. I had my umbrella to shield me from the sun, but it was still pretty fucking hot and sunny all over the place. And I just thought, I'm risking a sunburn. It's hot. I had a bottle of water. I spent through that water. I was like, okay, girl, it's hot. You're sweaty. It's gross. Maybe you should call an Uber. And I was 45 minutes from the port at that point, like a half an hour from the restaurant, 45 minutes from the port. You know what? I'm just going to call an Uber. I look at the Uber prices. It was like $35. And I was like, you know what? I'm not paying $35 for the last whatever. So I'm going to hump it out. I saved us $35. I'm just going to fucking hump it out and walk
He's
all the rest of the
insane.
way.
Well,
No, I did spend that $35 at lunch at the Yard House. But even still, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna walk the rest of the way. I'm gonna have a nice
Fair.
lunch.
so on the opposite side of that, though, so I had been chatting with Romaine earlier, and I had her meet up with myself and Daniel, Daniel, and we're like, oh, we'll all Uber together. It will be totally fine. So we did get an Uber XL, and it was, what, $45, $60? I don't remember. I didn't pay for it.
From your hotel to the dock? No, it was only, I got
that's
it for
right, you went.
$17.
Right.
Yeah.
She went with Lyft instead.
Yeah, because it was cheaper.
Because it was like a mile and a half. However, we got into the left, and no exaggeration, we took 2 turns and then just sat in traffic.
Yeah. And our lovely driver, Juno, he's like, they've closed down all the roads getting to the port. It's a fucking mess over there. And we're like, oh, okay. And he got close-ish doing some crazy driving.
We literally drove the wrong way down a one-way street.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, there was some crazy driving.
Yeah, that sounds safer than my plan.
Well, and then we got to where I kind of recognized how close we were to where we were going. And he goes, I can get you over here to this parking garage. But I'm like, that's going to take us another 20 minutes to get half a block. I said, or you could pull over and just let us out. And the sigh of relief this man had, he was like, oh my God, thank you for being so nice. And I'm like, yeah, we can walk 2 blocks.
But also, he would have gotten paid no more money
exactly
to sit for 20 minutes.
And I'm like, I'm not going to do this to this poor man. He was trying to make money to support his child.
Really? His child?
That's really why he was driving.
Okay.
And so
I have a child.
And I was like, all right, we'll get out here. And so we got out and then we walked over. And then
we walked out so we could see where the entrance was.
Yeah.
And we started to walk up to the entrance. And as we were walking up to the entrance, I recognized like iPhone release date line was forming. And I said to Romaine, I'm like, do you see this? And she was like, oh, what are you talking about? And she looked up and no exaggeration, down as far as the eye could see, a line of people.
Yeah, I've never seen
to get into the pier.
How many cruises have we done now, Derek? 20 something.
It feels like millions, but yes,
so
a lot.
we've had some great embarkation days. Some that are just like smooth and easy. Everything's easy.
Yeah,
most of them are like that.
Mostly.
But every once in a while,
there's a clusterfuck.
Yeah. And this would be in my top 2 clusterfucks of all cruises that I've ever been clusterfucked. And so, so you look and this line just keeps going and it just keeps going down this block. And I'm like, that can't possibly be the line to get into embarkation. And we got there at like 2:30 and they said, don't show up before 2 because if you show up before 2, you're not going to get in. So I'm like, so they probably have been going for a half an hour now. So I'm like, well, how bad can this line possibly be? So we cross the street and we start walking down the line. And we walked. And we walked. Now, I want people to understand that this block was more like an avenue in New York City, which means it's like 3 city blocks long, not just like a block long, like a normal block. It was more like 3 or 4 normal blocks. And I thought, this line has to end eventually.
Yeah. Because Tampa has this like seaport area where they have little shops and restaurants and things, whatever. And that's where the ship was docked. And the line went all the way around that whole seaport area and ended at the front of the ship.
Yes. So we got to the end of the block. And I thought, oh, this is the end of the end of the line. No, it curved around the corner and went all the way to where you were practically touching the ship.
Yeah, it was literally from tip to tail.
So
it was.
So for
and
people,
you basically spent an hour and a half in the taint.
Yeah, that's being generous.
Outside with literally no shade and no drinks. There was, it was.
It was
no drinks. You could have gone. Somebody could have gone to get a bottle of water at the seaport. It was like right there.
Tell them about the coffee.
Okay, so you would think that you could do that. We had a couple that was standing in front of us through the line, and they were fine. For any of you that have seen Chimp Crazy, the woman was the woman from Chimp Crazy. She was 100% Florida. Tan, fake blonde wig that you could see. The non-lace front, the black eyelashes.
You're describing what I would have been if I had moved to Tampa.
Yes.
It's funny. She said she owned a 4-part apartment complex.
Oh my God, I would have had my lace front. I would have been on point.
No, you would have had a lace front. Hers was not. It was a hard front.
It was not good.
I was like, girl, I can see both of your roots. But anyways, so she was probably mid-50s.
Sure.
I would say. Her husband was easily 75 years old.
Yes.
Maybe early 80s.
Yes.
She is living my dream.
Yeah.
And he moved at a pace that could only be described as tortoise. I
was going to say glacial, but yeah, okay.
He could not. It was a good thing that there was a line because he couldn't have moved any faster.
Yeah, he was real slow.
At some point, we get to a coffee stand that
was about an hour and 15 minutes in.
Yeah, that is probably, I would say. So we talked about the Avenue 3 blocks. It's probably two of those 3 blocks.
Yeah.
And he goes inside to get coffee. For the remaining hour, no exaggeration. Every 5 minutes, she pops out to go look for him. Oh, I can't find where them. And then like the line would move, and then she would dramatically run back up in front of us to make sure we didn't give her spot away. We're like,
bitch, we know it's you. We're not giving your spot away.
You can be here at any point. It is
it's fine.
Whatever. But I don't even know what he's doing. He's been taking forever. I don't even know what he could possibly be doing. So we get up closer to the front of the line. We get to finally where we're at the front of the line.
Where you drop your bags off,
right.
basically.
Yeah.
Before you actually get into the building. And that's when she decides she's just going to walk away.
Yeah.
She literally just walks away to go find him. And she's like, you'll hold my spot, right? I'm like, bitch, we would have held your spot for the past hour. But now we're in this spot.
Now it's
like,
coming
we're
a point where it's hard to hold the spot.
And we have to try and figure out a way how to get her back up to the front of the line. He finally comes back. And again, shuffle, slowest man in life.
Shuffle.
Yeah. And he gives her, he's the nicest man.
He's such a nice man.
He has like 2 coffees. He's like, oh, I got 2 coffees. Which one do you want? And then he's like, oh, I still got you this. And he got her like a cupcake donut.
Like a bundt cake thingy, yeah.
And he gives her, she goes, I don't want that. And just stares at us. I'm like, well, he's like, do you guys want some of it? We're like, no, it's fine. You guys enjoy the rest of the night. Yeah. She was such a bitch. Such a bitch.
And
He's
you have
not
a space for
exaggerating.
her. You couldn't be like when she came back, like, I don't know you. Who are you?
Well, that did happen in line.
Okay.
So we had just gotten to the end of the line.
Yeah.
We'd been for maybe 15, 20 minutes at this point. And we get in front of this restaurant that's right on the corner. And there was a guy, as we were walking to the end of the line, who said, oh, I really like your t-shirt. I was wearing a t-shirt and he liked. And I was like, oh, thank you. I thought it was my Just Say Gay shirt. And so anyway, we get to the front of the restaurant and he pops out and he comes over to me and he goes, I should have asked you when I told you I liked your t-shirt. And he goes, but by any chance, are you Romaine Patterson? And I looked at him and I go, oh, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. And he goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He starts getting all apologetic and I'm like, I'm kidding.
Did you really say I don't know who that is?
I'm like, I'm kidding. Of course I'm Romaine. I mean, meanwhile, Daniel is standing right there wearing like a Derek and Romaine t-shirt with like Derek and Romaine plastered on his chest.
Why are you such a bitch?
Because I am. And so I was just being silly. Anyway, turns out he was an old listener from the facility days. And he was kind of
Wayne.
Yes, it was Wayne, and he wasn't really aware of like what we do now. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm like, I was telling him about Derek and Romaine. We've always been around. You just didn't know it." And he's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know." And then he's like, "Wait, is this a Derek and Romaine cruise? Is this a DNR cruise?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, it's not a very big one, but yes." And then he was so excited.
I also met a gay in my line. So I had my lunch at the Yard House and then left and went over. And at first I was in disbelief that was a line. I wasted time like walking around like, this can't possibly be the line.
Where was it at when you got in it?
It was at the end. Like
So
it
the
was
same place, the
touching
tip
the
of the
same
ship.
place, touching the back of the ship. Or
And you
not,
got there
not quite there.
way later. So
Yeah. I
Because
got there like
we thought you were already on the ship when we were in the line.
I got there because I was planning to be there too, and then we had a WhatsApp group, and I think Cliff was like, "Oh, now they're telling us they're not going to board the ship until 3, so don't rush." So I didn't actually get there until like 3:20 or something. Yeah, and the line was to the end. And by the way, it was like that the whole time I was in line. There were people. It was as long a line.
It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
We may have at one point made a bet of how that was going to go. Either you were already on the boat or you were going to time it. Like you would have had a sixth sense about knowing when we got to the front of the line, and then you would have just walked up and been like, "Oh, you guys are here at the front of the line."
I'll tell you, in retrospect, like this is the thing with a group cruise like this, I should have just walked up the line until I saw somebody from our group and went, "Oh, here you are."
Oh,
and just gotten into
We
the line.
expected you to do that with us.
Yeah, but by the time, because I messaged you and you were like, we're going into the building now, and I was at the back of the line when you texted that. So I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it's
you wouldn't
already
have been
too
able to
late
do
for
it.
me to do that. Yeah,
Yo, but to
but
your
I
point-
would have if I had known where you were in the line. I would have.
But you would have thought that would have happened. We passed 2 sets of cruisers, and you know what they did when we walked up with Romaine Patterson? Oh, hi, Romaine Patterson. The line's that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Our listeners hate me.
That is
They
rude.
were mean,
No, but I
mean
will
and
say,
horrible.
so when we were on the private island today here, coming back, there was like a line to get on the tender to come back. And the line was just forming. And so they had like a line queue. It had a canopy. It was covered, so I wasn't in the sun or anything. But the line was just starting to form, and it was like coming around a bend. But other people were walking up. They didn't realize that the line was bending away. They thought that the people at the bend were the end of the line. So some older people walked up, and there were maybe 10 other people in line because it had just formed up to that point. And there were like 4 old people, and they were a little mobility, and like, you know what? We're not walking all that way. So they just decided to stay at the elbow, and they were old. And so people were like, okay, like
Let 'em
nobody
in.
said anything, like whatever. Like they weren't that far ahead of
Right.
the rest of it anyway, but respect, because literally every other person who walked up like made the same mistake. They go, oh no, the back of the line is over there. Like to every other person who came up, I was like,
Oh my God, that's
You know
amazing.
what? I took mad respect for the 4 of you that you cut, and then we're like, no cuts.
Nobody else.
Yeah, so I respect that. Anyway, but I cut in line with Terry from Arizona for the line to get on the tender, because I was like walking down, I was like, what the fuck is this line? And there was Terry, and I'm like, there you are. And the woman behind us was like dead-eyeing me, and I was like, I'm going to ignore you, bitch. I don't care. I am not getting to the end of this line, even though everybody in the line got on the same tender.
Right.
So it was like no harm, no foul. Even still, I was like, girl, I know a person, and I'm standing here.
Yeah, I will say I have
don't
not
blame you.
prepared for this Tampa Caribbean humidity. Like the
Oh,
heat has
well, girl.
effed me to the last degree.
By the way, back home right now. So today, when we are recording this, we are getting a vicious cold storm back home. I don't know if you guys know this, but I talked to my wife this morning. So last night it was freezing rain,
Yeah.
and now all the trees are like covered in like heavy ice.
Yeah.
And she sent me pictures this morning of broken tree everywhere in our yard. And she's like, and the worst of it is yet to come. And I'm like, what does that
the worst of it.
She goes, yeah, we're getting crazy winds next, which just means the trees are going to come down even more.
then shatter.
And then as I I was on my internet for a few minutes. I was texting her, and she goes, oh fuck. And I'm like, what? She goes, and the power went out. So my wife is at the house with no power in an ice storm, and the winds are coming.
Well, that is terrible.
Oh
anyway,
gosh, I'm so sad to be here.
I'm looking
in
at
the
a
Caribbean.
live look from Copter Cam here at my house, like the security cam.
Tell me, Becky, what are you seeing?
Out the front door.
Looks like ice and
conditions
snow.
out there look wet and disgusting. Looks like we've got about 4 or 5 inches of snow with rain coming down on top of it. So those roads are slick out there.
They are.
Yeah.
I also very
We'll have
impressed with
traffic
your
on the
local
10s.
neighborhood. They have shoveled all of your walkways. It's gorgeous.
Well, no, actually, I shoveled before. Yeah, but they maintained their cleanliness because of the rain. Anyway, so I'm glad I have a live look at my house. I only cared that there was electricity.
I looked at it.
I
I was
just
like,
want to come back to a cold, dark house.
Well, this morning when I got on the internet to just touch base with my wife for a few minutes, the first thing I did was look at the security cams, and I was like, what's this car that's in my driveway yesterday? Did my
your
wife
wife
have
having
a
an
lover come
affair?
over? What the fuck is happening? And then
Iris's
I realized,
lover.
no, it wasn't Iris's lover at all. It was AJ.
Oh, it's your lover.
Yes, it was mine. No, the cookie jars were at the studio yesterday recording.
okay, so I also met gays in line at my on my line.
Yeah, so you're gay.
So
Thank you for
so I
coming back
get
to
in
that.
so I get into the long line. Whatever, an hour behind Romaine and Scruffytown over here in this line to get on the boat. And so I get in line, and there's 2 women, young women in front of me, and one of them is in like a sun hat. And I mean, they were in their like early 20s. And then I did not realize this until later as we got in, because, when they go through the security thing, like you have to take off your hat. And one of the women took off her like sunbonnet, completely bald. I was like, girl, what?
Oh.
Bald. Yeah. I was like, okay, girl, you be bald. So anyway, so they were in front of me, and they were very sweet young ladies. And then behind me, there was a woman like a blonde woman, a very nice, presentable, probably in like her, she was in a vague somewhere between 40 and 60 age of a woman, like well maintained, so hard to tell exactly how old she was.
Okay.
But then she was there with what was clearly a homosexual. And I am 90% sure it's her son. But I ran into them later, and nothing in my interaction with them said
family,
mother and son. But they are definitely traveling together, and she is of an age to be his mother. But like I asked where they asked me, because they're from Florida, and they asked me where I was from, and I said where I was in New York. And he's like, oh, I used to live in a town, where went to college. And he used to live there.
Really?
And I said, oh, did you go to school there? And he goes, well, I mean, I did when I was a little kid, but then I moved to Florida. And so again, it wasn't the thing where she was like, oh, we used to live there or whatever. He said he lived there.
Not we.
So it was,
Right.
So like maybe his parents were divorced and he lived with his father for a while and they just didn't want to get into the details of it. Or maybe it's a situation where he's like a gentleman escort for her. Like, I have no
like
idea.
a male courtesan.
Well,
Okay,
'cause
we only have 2 more nights. You have to point them out
I
again.
got to find out. Anyway, so.
Because Adam will find out.
Yeah. But I had an awkward encounter in front of them later, which I will explain because it involved one of our listeners, sort of. But anyway, so, but I dated this guy, Larry, and he lived, this is when I was, 18. And he lived with this older woman named Yvonne. And she had some money and she was unmarried. I think she had like a grown daughter who lived in another state. And so she had money and she was unmarried, I think maybe widowed. And she had like a very large 2-bedroom condo, and she liked to travel, and she didn't like to just leave her place unattended. And so Larry was a college student, and he lived there, and he was not out, but pretty clearly a homosexual. And so, but sometimes he did travel with her, but most of the time he just watched her condo while she was gone, and she was gone a lot because we were, well, if you'll pardon the expression, fucking in her condo for like 6-8 months, like we were together. And I think I saw her twice. Like, she was gone all the time. So it was a great gig for
That's
like
a
a
great
college
gig,
student.
yeah.
Like, he had this great apartment, and it was great for her because there was always somebody to watch it. She didn't have to worry. And
Occasionally she'd have a 2-for-1 and be like, let's go.
and when she was in town, like, they had a great time, and they would have dinner and hang out and everything. And, he was a respectful young homosexual. So maybe it's a situation of like, it's an older woman and a gay guy, and they work together, and it's like, hey, why don't we go on these trips together? Anyway.
That is fair.
Or she could be his mother, but he
Maybe adopted mother? And then he
no,
adopted
I
her
mean,
later?
they could be. I mean, there wasn't
She
as
adopted him
strong
later?
a family resemblance.
Maybe it was an aunt.
or it could be an aunt. But anyway,
Can
but
we? Oh, go ahead.
he's just very tightly wound.
Mm.
If his haircut was more than 18 hours old, I'll be shocked. He had his very Texas shirt tucked into his shorts with a belt.
Oh, God.
That hair was on point. Fleek, as the kids used to say before they became elder millennials. And so
His
he
fit was tight.
Yeah, he is pretty tightly wound. Now, normally, I don't normally prescribe as a medical professional getting fucked.
From watching Dr. Quinn.
Like
Medicine Woman.
getting absolutely railed, but in this case, he's very tightly wound. If I were going to make a medical
He
diagnosis,
needs
I would
7
say
hard.
you need to get railed so hard that you are just a
Now, are you volunteering?
sloppy, sweaty, collapsed mess at the end of it. No. Well, I would, but no.
No,
It seems
for medical reasons.
He's cute,
For
but
science.
that would be a lot of work. I don't have that kind of time. If I were 25, I would probably have volunteered for that kind of all day sex duty, but I don't know. There's a lot on television, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so anyway, so I met him and his baby mother, common law mother, in line. And then later, so here in Tampa, one of the benefits of leaving out of Tampa is you go through Tampa Bay. And at the end of Tampa Bay, there is a bridge that is all lit up with LED lights. No longer rainbow colors like they have before because that's been outlawed. But anyway, But they have this bridge, and the ships go very tightly underneath it.
Yes.
To the point at which, like, it has a little, like, thing that sticks down, a uvula that sticks down from the bridge. And the tower has, like, sort of two, like, radio towers on either side. And their uvula goes between the two sections of, like, the smokestack. And I was like, girl, that is tight.
Spectacular to watch, but it was
but terrifying.
Like, if the tide is too high, can they even go under that bridge?
I don't think so. But also, that's why when there was fog, because there was fog, and that's why the ship was delayed, the ship can't come in fog.
Right,
like, it has to wait until it's
because they have to line that ship up perfectly to go under that.
Perfect visual thing, and in the fog they can't.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, but it's kind of a big deal when you cruise out to be up on deck and see the thing. So I go up on deck because we had dinner, and Romaine is like, "Oh, I want to go and see the bridge or whatever." And so I thought, all right, well, I'll go up there. And so I'm up there, and Romaine is not there. Adam is not there, even though they had wanted to go. And so I was like, well, let's see how close we are to the bridge. So I'm up at the railing, and I'm kind of looking, trying to see how close we are to the bridge. And there's a woman there at the railing, and she turns around and she goes, "I know you. I recognize you from the line." And I didn't recognize her until her common-law gay son walked up. And I was like, oh, yes.
You, man.
And she's like, he was in line ahead of us in the for the line. And he's like, he was?
Wow.
The meanest thing anyone can ever say to a person they've already met. It's nice to meet you. Anyway, so I'm like, way to play it cool, gay. And he goes, oh, wait, you were the one with the umbrella. Because, of course, I had my umbrella deployed in the sun that whole time. I was like, that's right. I am not going to be in the sun. I will not be getting a sunburn. So, yeah. Anyway, so we were chatting and everything. And while we were standing there chatting, having a lovely time, it definitely had an energy of she wanted us to get together. Like, I felt like my son is eternally single, and I don't know why he doesn't have a boyfriend. I just want him to have a nice boyfriend.
So did she
You're like, I've got TV to watch.
Did she ever use the word son or?
No, she never said son.
She just kept saying his name?
But she definitely had a, hey, wait, we should all hang out, like, energy. Like, she was trying to get her son married off. But I, of course, when I saw him, I was like, honey, there's a reason that your son never has a boyfriend. It's because he's addicted to sniffies, and you don't know. Like, or he's on Scruff or Grinder or whatever, and you don't know. He's only into chemsex 5 ways, and that's why he never brings anyone home to Thanksgiving. Anyway, I mean, I don't know anything about him. I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions on his life. Just based on my experience of, gee, I don't know why my handsome gay coworker or son never seemed to have a boyfriend. The answer is always, he's a dirty slut.
It's not
like
wrong.
always.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean,
there are some dirty sluts on this ship, by the way.
Wow.
There are a lot of homosexuals that are not part of our group.
Yeah, there's a lot of gays.
Very high amount of, and also
and
like,
lesbians too.
Like, also like sexually queer people. Like there is a very high amount.
Yes.
We met one night, the couple at the whiskey bar.
Oh yeah.
Who like were very chatty with us and talking about everything. And then at one point we were talking about like our favorite cocktail. And at one point I said like, oh, it's like, oh, I like the pineapple martini. And she goes, we're big fans of pineapples. Like, yeah.
What a slut.
Yeah. I'm like
straight out. Like,
oh, I'm sorry. I mean, what a sex positive lady.
Yeah. But there's a lot of that. There's also a lot of like the, I don't know if you've
She's
like
a
on
tramp.
Mr. 2025 Sexiest Legs. He can't stop wearing that shirt even though he won it like 2 days ago. Also at one point it was the same guy that wore the I Heart Emo Chicks shirt.
Oh, I've seen that guy. Yeah.
That guy, right? He is, he's the, when we were at the whiskey bar last night, and there's a group of like 6 of them all hanging out. I am 95% positive all 6 of those have all had sex with each other.
I think you're right.
There is we might be on a swinger cruise.
A poly puddle.
Oh, you know what? We could be.
It's a perfect amount of time. It's a quick, short day. Like there is a lot of weird sexual energy on this boat.
Okay, so
I
we
agree.
did find out from the group coordinator when we went to our first group that there was a wedding on board, but we haven't seen the wedding party, so we don't know who that is. But weddings tend to attract younger people, so it could be some of these emo slutty kids are part of a wedding party. But the second thing is there is some kind of band on board. So it could be that they are fans of whatever this band is. But we really haven't seen anything that says band fandom. Because usually if there's like a band on board, people are wearing
the t-shirts or whatever. Yeah.
So you can tell like, oh, you're a fan too? Me too, man. I was at the tour in 2019. Right? Anyway. Okay, let me tell you my embarrassing thing while I was with the woman and her son.
Yes.
I remember their names. I'm purposely not saying them because on the off chance that they like, oh, let's subscribe to this show from the gay guy that we met on the boat. And then it's like, he called me a dirty slut. Unsubscribe. Anyway, so
he paid for a month. That's
that
fine.
would totally happen. I don't want to call him out. But also like, this is definitely a situation where if I said his name and her name and the town that they are from,
someone's going to know.
Our listeners will know exactly who it is and then be like, ring, ring. I know phones don't do that anymore. Ring, ring.
Ring.
I can't otherwise make a sound that like a text bloop. Like nobody will know what that text sound is when I do it. So how do I have to do ring, ring?
I love that there was also the visual of the two fingers up to your head.
I know. I'm doing all the I'm doing all the sound effects on today's show. I don't know why.
Klondike 1-5.
I'm suddenly Howie Mandel. So I says to Mabel, I says, that guy's a bum. Okay, so ring ring. Hey girl, they were talking about you on the radio. Because that would 100% happen.
Yes, yeah.
Just like it happened with my neighbor after I talked about like I can't believe you got me this crazy gift. Ring ring. Hey girl, your neighbor's talking
Crazy
about
penguin.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
so I'm there. I'm hanging out with the gay guy and his common law mother. And then we're getting close to the bridge. And I texted Romaine and I said, girl, we're getting close to the bridge. And then I realized Romaine never fucking looks at her phone. Let me text Adam. So I text Adam and I'm like, girl, we're getting close to the bridge.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing I did because what?
We came running up afterwards.
Yeah.
We did.
Adam was looking at his phone and was Romaine? No. Now she is while I'm talking, telling the story. But otherwise, she's not normally looking at her phone. Anyway. So while I'm standing there, like we're getting close to the bridge, I look over and there's like a bar up on deck, sort of underneath a canopy in the center of the ship. And I look over and I think I see, and that's an important part of the story, one of our listeners, Cliff, and some other gay guys there. And I'm waving at them, hey, and I'm waving, hey, and they're ignoring me. And I thought, well, you know what? Everyone's a little older than 28. Maybe
It's
they
dark
can't
outside.
tell that it's me and it's dark outside and I'm waving and maybe they don't see me. So let me go running over there. So I go running into the bar and I'm running in like it's on fire. Hey, we're just about to get out of the bridge. Come on. Don't you want to go and get out of the bridge? And I'm like looking around. And then I realized after I've been screaming at them for, I don't know, 20 seconds. Come on, let's go the bridge. We're almost out of the bridge. I realized I don't know any of these people. They are not gay. They are not part of our group. It's just like 6 straight guys who are hanging out at the bar. And then the gay guy comes running in screaming, come on, don't you want to go look at the bridge? Huh?
Let's go.
And then I had to,
Back out.
like, with no dignity whatsoever, turn around and run
Simpson
away.
Bush it.
But also I was like, oh, I see my friends. Like I say to the gay guy and his mother, oh, I see my friends. And then I do not see my friends. And now they must think I'm insane.
Oh, you dumb bitch.
I'm a button bar.
Thank you. I appreciate the high-tech
You're welcome.
button bar here on the show, direct from the DNR Cast app while we're doing the show.
Right, so you walk away from the two of them saying, oh, I have to go see my two friends. My friends are waiting for me.
Oh, my friends are
And
over
then
there.
come
Let me
back
tell
with
them about the bridge.
Nobody.
Wow.
So now he's like, oh, he's also delusional.
Yeah, he's sad. Sad old man. Doesn't
Well, they
know
already
anything.
knew I was insane because I was standing there with an umbrella. And then now I'm running and yelling at people that I don't know. And I'm sure the whole time his mother is like, oh, he's a catch.
Oh, God.
You can't get any better than this, son.
He has the radio show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think I told them I have a radio show. I think I just told them that I have a travel agency and that we book group cruises. I don't think I mentioned the radio
You know
show.
when people ask me about what DNR is, I say, oh, it's a radio show, but I act like it's not my radio show.
I do that all the time,
I do
too.
it all the time. I talk about it
like
like
a
it's someone
disinterested
else's
third
show.
party.
Yeah.
She does. It was so crazy to listen to her talk about, oh, yeah, there's these two hosts, and they talk about, I'm like, it's you, you stupid bitch.
I don't
You're
know
the
why.
one.
I don't know why our business isn't thriving when we talk about ourselves
Because I
as
feel like it
disinterested
makes
third
me,
parties.
I feel like it's like
Bragging and
braggadocious
tacky.
or whatever. And I'm
Well,
like,
I
I
agree.
can't.
But can I
can't.
tell you
It feels tacky.
What
It
did
does.
happen? Because this cruise is a smaller of your cruises, and it's,
Yeah.
So like when we've gone and done our events, like we're not necessarily filling a space, but what you guys did this karaoke I thought was ingenious, and I think maybe you should do it for future ones. So the karaoke was in a big open place, and we weren't filling it up, so it was sort of difficult. But what Romaine and then the host kept doing was, hey, it's karaoke sponsored by DNRtravel.com. DNR, and they just kept reusing DNRtravel.com, DNRtravel.com. I thought it was genius.
And we invited all kinds of people to join us, even if they weren't part of our group, which was fun.
Did you pass out any business cards? Were we going to get any business from them?
I did not pass out a business card, but I did meet some very lovely lesbians who were not a part of our group.
And how are they ever going to find us again?
They're friends with Wayne.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we talked to him about it. Yeah.
We'll never see or hear from them again.
No, that's not true. I think they will.
The half Filipino, half Filipina.
Yeah.
And I can say that because he said it. He literally said DNRtravel.com.
Yeah, he did a lot.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
He was sweet.
Okay, we're running short on time in today's episode.
Yeah, we have about 7 minutes. Yeah.
But we have not yet talked about our glorious trip to the Olive Garden.
Okay, yes.
So a few days before we left, Romaine had mentioned that we hadn't been to the Olive Garden for a while. And I really don't think we have been to the Olive Garden since before the pandemic.
The last time we went to the Olive Garden, Derek, was with ADD Jeff on day 2 or 3 of DNR 2.0. That was the last time I remember us going to the Olive Garden.
That might be the very last time we've been to the Olive Garden.
Yes,
So
I'm certain of it.
That puts us at like 9 years.
Yes.
Okay. So it had been a long time since we've been to the Olive Garden. And we
Yes.
love the Olive Garden.
I love it.
And because we were coming down here, I was like, girl, we have a night in Tampa before we sail. I'm sure they have an Olive Garden. So we should go to the Olive Garden.
And I was like,
wow,
all right.
we're here. It's like, this is going to be great. And I'm sure there'll be something on Romaine's health journey to have at the Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? So Tom Goss is on this sailing with his husband, Michael. And he's like, what do when is the sail away thing? It's like, well, we're going to be at Cityside. And it's from 6 to 9. But Romaine and I are cutting out at 8 to go to the Olive Garden. He's like, oh, my God, can we come with you?
And we're like, of course.
And I was like, sure, why not? He's like, well, we have friends with us, too. And I was like, that's fine. Because they had other like local friends who were not going on the cruise. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So the 6 of us went to the Olive Garden. So anyway, so we're at Cityside. And then Tom Goss is like, are you leaving soon? Because they had left. And it was like, oh, yeah, we should get an Uber. And he's like, don't waste your money. We have a car. Get in the car. So again, we saved like coin.
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
Yeah, with these,
saving the monies.
Saving the monies. So anyway, so we drove to the Olive Garden, and the Olive Garden was less than a mile from my hotel. And but after we were leaving, Tom was like, oh, our friend will give you a lift back to the hotel. It's like, oh, it's less than a mile. It's totally fine. I could totally walk it. I'm like, no, just get in the car. So it's like, all right, fine. So we get in the car and we're driving. And the friend who's driving goes, well, I'm glad that you accepted this ride because I'm looking at this neighborhood. And if you were walking down the street at night like this, everyone here would think you were a prostitute. And I was like, oh, thank you. That is the nicest thing anyone has said to me all day. I'll be mistaken for a prostitute.
Okay, in fairness,
bitch, please.
Okay, first of all,
don't bitch, please,
it's
P.
a Tampa prostitute.
A
It's
Tampa
not that.
prostitute.
Okay, that's valid. Tampa prostitute.
So, how was the Olive Garden experience? Was it everything you were hoping for?
Oh, I think I keep playing it over and over again.
Stop hitting the button.
I thought
What
if you
is wrong
pressed
with
it
you?
again and stopped, I don't even know how our own
The
button bar works.
technical prowess of this
It's just
show.
going to go on forever.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, thanks,
The show is
thanks
ended.
to the button bar and the sound bar and the DNR Cast app, you too can accidentally hit the bottom alarm 5 times in a row.
As Derek tells a story.
And embarrass everyone at whatever bar or restaurant you're in.
Yes.
Okay, we went to the Olive Garden, and honestly, it was disappointing.
Man.
It was okay. First of all, the salad didn't have enough salad dressing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the pepperoncinos were not up to Derek's standard.
They were too chewy. They were not crunchy.
So they were ones that are at the bottom of the barrel. They've been
leathery.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they were leathery pepperoncinos.
And then the breadsticks were mid.
Yeah, they were
not as good as I
if
remember
you're in
them.
Olive
Not
Garden,
fresh.
There are 2 things you have to do. You have to have good salad with good pepperoncinis.
Yep.
And you have to have good breadsticks. Otherwise, why
What's
are you
the
in
point?
business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's going there for, they're like, oh, the tour of Italy. It's so delicious. No one cares.
The food, whatever, was fine, but the breadsticks and the salad were a disappointment.
Yes. And that's really all I wanted.
It's fair. You were just doing the button bar,
Yeah.
and it made me think of the DNR app. Can I tell you, I may have broken Daniel today
Why?
in regards to the 5x5.
Oh, and the DNR Cast app, the daily
so I
word
have,
game.
I have a bit of a cheat. Can I share a cheat for people? Because people are always all about trying to figure out how to be on the top of the board list,
Right.
Yeah.
a leaderboard. So he plays sporadically. I have not had access. So I got access today because we're, near land. And I got online and I put my first word in and it came up with the stuff. And then I closed the app right away. And he's like, why'd you close it? I was like, because if you close it, the timer stops. So you can think of what word you want to put in next. And he was like, you're a fucking cheat. And he was so mad at me. He may have called me a fucking cheater. And I was like,
I mean, that is a cheat move.
It is It is cheating.
I don't think it's cheating because especially when I see people
But in
who
all
have put in
fairness.
their third word for the day in 15 seconds on top of the leaderboard, I'm like, okay, don't talk to me about cheating. I see you on the top of the leaderboards and those people that put their word in right away. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I don't think it's cheating. I think it's clever. So now I've given it to everybody.
You
But
found
yeah.
a loophole.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's the question I have, Derek, because you look at the leaderboard every day. How high does Adam rank on the leaderboard, and is his cheat actually helping him?
Oh, no, not me.
No, Adam actually never ranks very highly on the leaderboard.
So cheating or not, doesn't matter.
You're right. I don't use it.
If he does start using this cheat code, he probably will be up in sort of the top 20 or 30 or whatever. But yeah,
I did the other way. I will tell you, my greatest accomplishment, it was a couple of days ago. I was dead last. I got it in 5 words, 5 guesses. I was dead last. I was like 96th. And I will tell you, I was more proud of being dead fucking last than being in the top 10 at any giveaway.
Really?
One day, I even stayed up until midnight to try and get first place because I was like, oh, I'll at least get first place this way because no one else will play. Still ended up in 3rd. I played at like 12:02.
there are people
Oh my
that
God,
play
that's
at like
hysterical.
12:01 a.m.
Yeah.
Like they cannot wait. They will play the second it turns midnight.
Yeah.
They will play that game. So they are like alone on the leaderboard. Oh yeah.
I mean, I love our listeners, but girls, that's crazy.
I am telling you, this 5x5. Derek has from behind the scenes, right? I've heard Derek talk about it for a while and how excited he was for it. And it's like, yeah. Now that I'm into it, I totally get it. I understand why people are on it. The leaderboard is ridiculous and stupid, and the shit people talk about the people who are in the top 5. I'm like, oh yeah, those little fuckers, they cheated. There's no way they got it.
The people are psychotic about the leaderboard in a way I was not expecting. Because, like, I just, so the idea with the 5x5 word game in the DNR Cast app was I'm always thinking about giving people a reason to open the app every day. Because, like, obviously people are listening to our show, but like our show is not on the weekend, but we have these other shows because sometimes people don't have time to listen to our whole show. They only have a few minutes, whatever. I wanted the app to still be a place that people could go to. It's why we have the recipes and the news headlines and now the games, because I want people to think, oh, whenever I have a few minutes or I'm looking for something, the app will have some kind of infotainment that I'm looking for, even if I can't listen to the show. So it will keep people listening and subscribing and engaged in the community, everything else. Okay. So we want to do this 5x5 game because then it would give people a reason every day to come to the app, even on the weekends. But the leaderboard, I was not expecting how the leaderboard would be more important than the gameplay itself.
But do you think it's important that everyone knows the people on the leaderboard? Because, like, a lot of our listeners know each other from the cruises, right?
But
if
most
they
of the
didn't
people,
know them?
but I look at it all the time like, I don't know who most of these people are.
Agreed.
Interesting.
It is a
Okay.
lot of silent majority in there. I mean, every once in a while, I will see people like Adam, actually, because people didn't know that they could change their display name.
Right.
Through the website, you can change your display name in your profile. And so then it will change the name that displays in the leaderboard. And people didn't realize that. And early on in the game, I was like, I should just go and change Adam's to Scruffytown without even telling him. I'll just change it. And then, like, because I was like, I know people, they have nicknames. Like, I'll just go in and change people's nicknames because I'm sure they won't mind if I'm like just changing their names on their behalf.
It's fair.
But anyway, I was like, no, that might be too crazy. That's too invasive. I'm going to let that go. Anyway, Adam figured it out. He changed his name, so it's fine. But like, I look at the thing and I see who's in there, and some of them I do recognize from the cruise or, from having called into the show or meeting us at a Pride event or something. But the vast majority, I'm like, I don't know who that is. Although we now have tech interns. So when, with the new tech interns, one of them who like did the interview, because with the prospective interns, I said, you should
check out the app and get familiar with
because
it.
this is what you'll be working on and whatever. And one of them started playing the 5x5 game and plays it every day. like one of our new interns. It's just like every day plays that 5x5 game. I'm like, you know what? That's good. That means that they like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. So I love that. We've reached young people. Anyway. One last thing.
Look at us.
I know. Anyway, it is really fun. Steven and Felix from Chicago, they're on the boat. And Steven's like, you keep talking about this 5x5 game. How exactly does it work? What is it? And so I had to open the app and like show him how it is. He's like, oh, okay. He's been playing it every day when we've been on the boat ever since. So sometimes it just takes like, I guess we just have to go in person and like show people the game, and then they will start playing and they will become obsessed. Anyway, one last thing I have to say about beautiful Tampa, just to make Romaine jealous, that because she didn't get to stay at the hotel, she also didn't have breakfast at Waffle House like I did, because I was able to walk from my hotel to the Waffle House.
I know.
Hateful words have ever been
that
spoken.
was near my hotel. And let me just say, special shout out to my waitress, Tamara, who was working with a full CPAP machine on her face.
Oh, Tammy. Did she stop for a cigarette break?
No, but I was just like, I could give you a big tip here, honey, because it wasn't even like she had like the little oxygen tank or whatever. It was like the full on the machine with the hose, the whole thing on her face. And I'm like, okay, girl, you look like you're in a Mad Max movie. But mad respect showing up to work today, and thank you for this delicious waffle.
Wow.
Thank you, Tampa.
I think I hate you.
I know. I had the full Waffle House experience. Waffle House with a waitress with a CPAP machine on her face. It could have only been better
if I stab him right now.
If there was like a fight in the parking lot.
We have time when we get off this boat before we have to go.
Overboard.
We would throw him overboard. Unfortunately, he'd land on the Tinder down below. I just saw it pull up. Which means it's time for us to wrap up, because if the Tinder showed up, that means we're about to head out.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Well,
Look
everybody.
at him wrapping our show for us.
He's a real professional, that one. Well, our thanks to Adam from Scruffytown, Romaine Patterson, and myself, and you for being with us. Thanks for subscribing. Be sure to check out that DNR 5x5 game in the DNR Cast app. It really is fun. And,
it is.
It really is. Romaine doesn't play, but it's because she can't remember her login. It's very unclear.
Because I scored so badly on my SAT.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. She's such a dummy with her 1,300 plus score at SAT.
I'm going to find it, damn it. Now I have to.
She couldn't possibly do the 5x5 game in the DNR Cast app. Although I will say, our 5x5 game is hard. Like, it is actually hard.
Genuinely difficult.
Thanks for playing, everybody.
Can't get enough of the show? Follow them on Twitter at DNR Show or like them on Facebook.
And don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe to DNR 2.0 at DerekandRomaine.com.